Hello and welcome to Uncommonly Good MTG. I am your host, the devilishly handsome Dr. Yukon Suckit. That's right, Yukon Suckit. Tell your mama that. So today I'm broadcasting to you from my secret underground headquarters, and I'm bringing you a deck that was entitled Devil Scute. Devil Scute. I found this thing over on Aether Hub. The deal is that I thought to myself, you know what? I bet you I could probably put together a Devil Tribal deck. And I tried, and it sucked. And so then I thought, well, let's go see what Aether Hub's got going on in the Devil category. And on the list, I ran across Devilish Valet, Devil Scute. And I thought, well, I think I played this deck already. Let me go see what's in it and then compare it versus stuff I've played in the past. I played lots of Scute decks. I've played a couple of Devilish Valet decks. I love Devilish Valet. He just, he's kind of hard to pull off sometimes. I'm not sure I've ever played Devilish Valet and Scute Swarm at the same time. And I definitely haven't played this version of it. So either it's been long enough that I forgot that I have played one like this, or this is different enough that it's a different deck. So either way, we're playing it. Let's take a look at this deck. Let's try to figure out how it's going to come together. And then let's take it out and see how well it does. At the low end, we've got Dig Up. Dig Up. So we got 1 mana, which will allow you to search your library for a basic land card, put it into your hand, and then shuffle. So it doesn't even put it into the battlefield, it just puts it into your hand. But it lets you go get a land to make sure that you got stuff, right? Then we got Azusa's Mini Journeys for 2. There's a saga on the first turn. You may play an additional land this turn, so that way you can put out 2 lands. You gain 3 life on your second turn. And lastly, whenever Likeness of the Seeker becomes blocked, you untap up to 3 lands you control. It's a 3/3. All right, so far we're getting an additional land but not being able to play it. In this case, then we can play it. And after a little while, potentially you'll be able to pump out even more mana, an additional 3 for the later half of your turn, because it'll have to be after this thing becomes blocked or something, I guess. We get into Devilish Valet. Now, Devilish Valet is an incredible card. My biggest problem with the Devilish Valet is that I remember when we started playing with him at first, everybody knew you had to kill the Devilish Valet. You had to. But I kind of get the impression that people have stopped playing him. Some people are starting to forget what his deal is. Because he is an insano card, and any deck that you have him in, you're planning on putting out a bunch of creatures at one time, which is going to double his power. Now, 1 times 2 is 2, but 2 times 2 is 4, and 3 times, 2 is, we're up to 8 already or something. That's where it's at. So it just keeps exponentially growing the more creatures you put out. Now, luckily, most people don't put out more than 3 or 4 creatures in a turn. It's kind of hard to do. If you mix this up with, that one enchantment that comes out where you double the amount of creatures that attack, yeah, that'd be bad. The only problem is that those guys come in after the attack phase, but then before you can attack again. So they don't work well with the Devilish Valet. But I'm just going to jump to it here. The place that this is really going to go crazy is Scute Swarm, because they will duplicate every time that a land enters the battlefield. And if you have 6 or more lands, the one that you create will be a copy of Scute Swarm, who will copy itself as well. And so as long as you can have, you want to make, what happens with Scute Swarm is that you get them above 6, suddenly they start exponentially growing with every landfall. At which point, you can easily get like 12 dudes in a turn. I can tell you that Devilish Valet, that dude can probably go nuts, and I don't even want to know what the math is right now. So we'll see. All right, so Field Trip, stuck right here in the middle of those 2 cards. Costs you 3, you go get a forest, and you put it into the battlefield like it should dig up, right? And then you shuffle. I will Learn, so Learn comes over. We can grab something from the sideboard. We got a bunch of environmental sciences, which allows you to go get another basic land, but it does just put it in your hand, and you gain 2 life. Introduction to Prophecy allows you to scry 2, then draw a card. This allows you to exile target non-land permanent. Their controller draws a card. And Fractal Summoning will allow you to put out basically a plus X, XX, which is equal to the amount of mana you pump into it, 2 less than however much you spend. So if you got a bunch of mana, you could potentially have a big dude that could easily be killed, but still, it's a big dude. So that's what Field Trip does. It gives you that learn ability, as well as putting out yet another land on your turn, which is going to trigger off Scute Swarm, 1 extra time per copy of it that there is. Yeah, I was going to say, what would be really nice in here would be the Fable with the Kiki Jiki, just so that you can either copy the Devilish Valet or copy the Scute Swarm. That'd be super cool, right? We got Topiary Stomper. This guy is really weird because he is super lame when you first get him out. You have to have at least 7 or more lands for him to even do anything. I've seen somebody use Blizzard Brawl with him. That was a really good thing to do. We don't have anything like that in this deck. This guy just comes out on 3. He goes and gets 4, puts it into the battlefield tap. And the good thing is a lot like Field Trip, essentially, is that it goes and gets another land. It gets it's a forest in this case. A basic land, whatever. So Field Trip and Topiary Stomper, just go get a land, put it into the battlefield, and that's it. With Field Trip, you get a lesson. With Topiary Stomper, you get a 4/4 who stands around and cannot attack or block until you get 7 more lands. But the good news is that's probably fine. You're going to get to 7 quick, I would imagine. And even then, he becomes a target that sucks up the damage because people think, oh no, there's a 4/4 I got to worry about. Let's take care of him. Topiary Stomper as a creature is relatively stupid. So he's just a really good target. Wrenn and Seven. Now, I'm guessing this is also just... Well, actually, this is another thing I like about this deck. Is that Scute Swarm and Devilish Valet are the combo, right? But what happens when those just get wiped out and you can't do it? Well, at least you got Wrenn and Seven, who's still putting out the tree folks, and there's going to be plenty of lands, meaning those tree folks are going to be buff. And those things can become a real hassle to people. Other than that, what do? They go get a bunch of lands, and you can put out any number of lands onto the battlefield that you have in your hand. So potentially this guy could just drop lands, meaning making the Scutes just go to crazy town, which would mean your Devilish Valet would put out like 4 billion damage in 1 turn kind of situation. I could see that happening. Here's the other one, Cultivator Colossus. He costs you 7. He's got Trample, and his power and toughness is equal to the number of lands you control. When he enters the battlefield, you put a land card from your hand onto the battlefield. If you do, draw a card and repeat this process. So this is another guy that if you happen to have Scute Swarm and Devilish Valet out, then this guy comes out, which is going to cause Devilish Valet to double. But then, more than likely, you'll be able to put out another land, and then you draw something, you'll be able to put out another land. You'll probably be able to do it like 1 billion times. He's going to be like a quadrillion billion damage, and he has Trample, and he'll kill. Other than that, your Scute Swarm will be like a trillion of these guys, and then somebody will probably do Meat Hook Massacre, and the game will be over. In reality, yeah, Meat Hook Massacre is a horrible, horrible spell that would totally screw this over. But if we're lucky, we'll be able to do Scute Swarm and Devilish Valet relatively close to each other so they don't have a chance to do it. Over here in the land category, we've got 20 basic lands. And then we've got, 4, 7, 8, 12, 13. Basically dual drop cards. The only thing I think we could potentially do, Splendid Reclamation? That would also be insane. We would definitely break Arena if we had Splendid Reclamation in here. The Splendid Reclamation just says, yeah, return all of the lands in your graveyard to the battlefield. And that would just be the end of it. So, question is that, yeah, there's definitely ways we can soup this deck up a little bit more. But do we have to? Do we have to? So we'll take this one out. We'll try it out, and we'll see how good it is. Cross my fingers, hoping for the best. And we're playing against Bthulhu. We got there a bunch of land. Devilish Valet, let's keep it. Need to go after a mountain. fine. I don't really see a good path forward at this moment, but I have faith. I believe in you, Devil Scute deck. I'm going to waste one of these just to make sure I get myself a mountain. Of course, it means the next thing I'm going to pull is a mountain, I'm sure of it, but... Click on your fox. Your fox is goofy. Alright, there's a 2... Yeah, we can live without the dig up at the moment. Ooh, I'm not going to be black, so dig up's not going to do anything for me. Except for get me a basic land. There's that red mana. Alright, let's go field trip it. Going to scry into the future. I think he wants to start killing my guys. I just am not putting anything out. Nope, nope. Let's go get something other than land. And more land. All right. Yep, that's what we need, right? Well, I'm burning this. All right, so we've got 5 so far. This guy takes 7. I'm kind of worried about putting out the Devilish Valet without having any other creatures, really. What's the point? I guess he can block some stuff. As soon as I put him out, though, he'll be killed. This might just be what he's here for today. There's a lot more Devilish Valets in here, so I shouldn't be too worried. Another field trip. This is getting ridiculous. Alright, let's go ahead and put the valet out. And then we'll field trip it. Sure. So they'll be able to exile something. Here he goes. He's starting to touch it. He wants to destroy it. I'm sure he's got plenty of creature kill in his hand. Token. Yeah, this deck usually does so much better than it is at the moment. Yeah, we're just pulling all the lands like crazy. All right, we got the 7. Let's just go with this. Yeah, we'll do that. Wish I had a Scute right now. That would have been sweet. Nope, we're good. All right, now we got a Scute Swarm. Things could be a lot better. I didn't want to waste all my lands now that I got a Scute in my hand. The thing is, he's going to go after the Cultivator. He's going to ignore the Devilish Valet. But the Valet is the bigger threat by far. There it goes. Like a volcano. There he goes. And nixed all in. Bam! Negative 237. Jeez. Victory. All right, we're playing against Draganclaw. But without a no. All right, we got lots of land and the ability to get more land. Sure. Let's just see if this deck can pull it off. There's a Scute. Yeah, these dig ups seem like a really dumb idea in this deck. All right, so we'll put out, let's see, number 2. We'll go dig up something else. Let's pull a red, that's fine. All right, do we think we need to be too worried about putting a Scute out this early? It's white. I mean, they do have the ability to kill some stuff. Because I put out an, I should probably just choke it back for a little bit. So I really want to have 6 mana. I'm a long way from 6 mana, though. All right, so I'm going to play a little conservatively, just because if I get a Scute out, I need to replicate it like crazy. All right. That's the thing I got to kill. Okay, you got 4. 5. We'll just kill that. Oh yeah, opportunity. I'll put out a Scute on the next turn. They can start blocking. Hopefully we can keep the Voice of the Blessed from gaining flying or anything. That's not good. All right, come on. You can do it. Just don't kill me. Here we go. Here we go. Ooh, we got our bomb on the next turn, too. All right, we got enough to block with, unfortunately. That's the problem. Nice. If I can just block one of them or stay alive through this next turn, that's all I really need to do. Not the Devilish Valet. No, that's who's going, though. I should still be able to play him. Yeah, that's fine. I got plenty of mana. He knows what's going to happen. Come on, no flying, no flying, no flying. It's fine. Come on. Attack. That's cool. Alright, we're awesome. Alright, here we go. Can he stand the multiplicative attacks? $32, $64. We got it. We got it. All attack. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Yeah, you got no mana. There we go. Negative 489. Woo! Victory! We're playing against MichaelAskotson. All right, we got a Scute. Let's keep it. Let's keep it. Everything else is pretty slow. Nice grab a basic land next. Just, he's got black. That's going to be horrid. All right, I'm going to start out by putting out the Topiary Stomper just to give him something to shoot at there. All right, so we'll take out, or there's that. Put out Topiary Stomper, which will get us up to 5. Let's see, are you gonna start shooting? There we go. There's the shots. All right, so I got 5 mana. I can play both of them at the same time if I just wait one more turn. So let's field trip it. Go for, I guess I can't go for red. It has to be a forest. And let's take that just so that we can be cool about the whole situation. We'll pop that down. It's not going to do anything. We only play one a turn anyway. All right, we got plenty of mana now for playing both of them, and Devilish Valet can come out the same turn. Hopefully he'll be tapped out, won't be able to kill with instant speed, and we could go to town and kill on 24. We shall see. This is it. It's make or break. Yes! No mana. And if this is going to work, this is going to be it. Oh, it's not as big as a pop as I was hoping for. Just 16. All right. Well, anyways, so if I can keep Devilish Valet alive for one more turn, we can win this thing. Yeah, no blocks. Grab some life. I don't care. Whatever. Five, 6, 7. Super. 8, 9. And we win. Ooh, that was a gamble on my part. Victory! All right, so here is the Devil Scute deck. This was a nail biter, but it is just so incredible. I mean, I played a number of times. I lost one time. But, I mean, this thing, let's see, what's my win rate on this thing here? 83%. 83 out of 6 matches, right? It like, you come out, you take your hits, and, you know, you're doing your thing. You got some dudes that look pretty decent between, like, the Topiary Stomper. People think, oh, no, it's a Topiary Stomper. I got to get to it before we get up to 7. You know, they start pinging them off. Wrenn and Seven comes out. They're thinking, oh, no, there's some tree folk. Every once in a while, you get out, like, the Cultivator Colossus, and, like, that's it. That's the instep right there. Everybody's scared of the Cultivator Colossus. No, man, that's all just a distraction. It all comes down to the combo of Devilish Valet and Scute Swarm. And my God, if you can hold off to the right point to put them out there, they go insane. I saw the Devilish Valet passing out over 4,000 damage in one turn. People are sitting there with like 30 or 40 or 50 life going, ooh, I'm all safe. You can't do anything to me. It's really hard to keep yourself alive towards when you got something with trample, haste, and is dealing 4,000 damage in a single turn. The turn it came out. And then the deal is, even if it wasn't for Devilish Valet, Scute Swarm in this deck goes crazy. And that's bad enough by itself. So yeah, your big problem, you got to keep your Devilish Valet and your Scute Swarm alive. If you can play them all at the same time, then you can go pretty far. The best things I've seen of this are where you play one of these double play lands, the double drop lands, as well as putting out, like, let's just say, Field Trip at the same time. The problem is if you can play Devilish Valet, Field Trip, and Scute Swarm at the time, you need 9 mana to pull that one off. It's not improbable. I mean, this is a heavy mana deck. In fact, if anything, I'd say get rid of Dig Up and maybe put in something a little bit better at putting out lands. Because we never saw Azusa's Mini Journeys come in, but we saw plenty of Dig Ups, and I would say there's probably something better to put out more land per turn. So that you need to do it if you're going to be dropping the bombs. Because Devilish Valet goes nuts with Scute Swarm. That's all there is to it. So yeah, this is an incredible deck. Incredible. Is it competitive? Yes. I think it's super competitive. Is it fun? Let's put it this way. I mean, it's kind of like a roller coaster, right? Because you're the first part of the game, you're just biting your nails, peeing your pants, just hoping you're going to be able to put this thing together. Yet somehow, the vast majority of the time, it does. It pulls it off, and it just goes bonkers in crazy ways, right? Which is, Devilish Valet gets to be about 1 billion, and you swarm in, and that's it. Lastly, is there a theme? Not a creature theme. I mean, a Scute and a Devilish Valet have like nothing in common with each other. Some Topiary, whatever. But this is a big, heavy, land-centric one. I'm going to give it a theme that it's a landfall deck is what it is. It's weird because it's a landfall deck that funnels it all into creature creation so that Devilish Valet has some place to go. Oh, that guy, he makes use of all of those dudes. So what am I going to rate this deck? I'm going to give it an A+. I think this is a top shelf deck. Incredibly fun, incredibly competitive, and themey enough to make me feel like it's good. So yeah, A+, Devil Scute. Yeah, so if you choose to play with this deck, I know that you will have as much fun as I did. That's all for now. If you enjoyed this video, please make sure to like and subscribe. From all of us here in the underground secret headquarters of Uncommonly Good MTG, have a great day. In the words of my people, be excellent to each other, and party on, dudes.